Welcome to the next installment of the Dismount Podcast, and today we'll be saddling up and we are talking Terminator. Are we closer than we think? Today we got Derry, Brandon, and we got myself, Zach, and we are about to rip on this episode. Today we are going to be discussing personal opinion on the current state of social media and technology, using AI to make content. We'll dive into some personal opinion on AI and its uses currently. We're going to go way deep into the YouTube University and how fantastic of a tool that is. We'll hit some intention versus attention. And then if we get to it, versus the programming that we all are subject to sometimes. So let's rip right into personal opinion of the current state of social media. And for me, I love the beauty of some of the apps that have come out. Like, for instance, TikTok. Like, for me, and I think we've discussed this before, like the whole situation of like people's attention spans going down to like 3 to 7 seconds. And an app like TikTok comes along, and you can view this completely different than I do. But when they started putting out these like 7-second challenge, 10-second challenge, 15-second challenges that were like the viral videos for everybody to like do this thing where it's just, that's all you were, was just on the screen, you were doing the challenge and that was it. To me, I felt like that was actually like priming people or programming people to have more attention, because it wasn't these quick 3-second jump cuts. It wasn't this like fast pace, everything has to be like an explosion on the screen all the time and rainbow colors,
Yeah.
and it's just like, it to me, like I love TikTok for a lot of different reasons, because I like finding all this new interesting stuff. But I will say that like I used to wake up every day and like stretch a little bit, not always, but it's either I'd stretch a little bit or I'd be straight to the toilet to just release the morning, bowel movement. And I'd sit on the toilet and I would just scroll TikTok, and it would be like all these things that I felt like, I'm getting all this inspiration for the day. Like, oh man, this guy's doing this super cool thing. Oh, this lady's doing this super cool thing. That's an amazing hike. Oh my goodness. Then I go to work and I'm sitting there and I thought like, oh yeah, I'm so excited to go do my life and my day today, because I'm working towards being able to do those things that I see these people doing on TikTok. And then it's like, oh fudge, the mundane of the day just starts weighing on you. And it's like this backpack that someone just keeps putting a brick and a brick and a brick in, to the point where you're finally like, get this damn thing off of me, because I'm so frustrated that I'm not doing what those people are doing. But then the whole mess of what we've talked about before of like, is that really their full lives? Was that just something that they did? Do they have great discipline and balance to where they have a life just like I do? They go to a 9 to 5, and then when they spend their time, their free time, that's what they focus on. And then they're creating 1 or 2 pieces of content. Maybe they're not the person who's posting every single day. Maybe they are the person who's posting every single day, and they just got some really good speed. You know what I mean? Whatever the hell it is, whether it's personal energy, whether it's additives, who frick knows? But you know what? Off of the stuff that you and I've been doing, of editing and whatnot, and just the two of us talking and being like, dude, this shit takes forever.
It's exhausting. I highly underestimated the amount of work that goes into it, even a very low level.
Yeah, because there's so many beautiful things now for us to be able to use, like AI to chop up the video literally in Premiere, like this full thing. If we have it set to where the mics are good, and we got to probably upgrade the mics soon to be able to utilize that AI software better. But like now you can literally throw in our entire hour-long video and just it'll cut onto who's speaking from the camera angles. And it's badass. It is super awesome. If you don't have the audio correct, you don't have everything organized together, if the clips aren't the same, like it just, all those added pieces like cause all these different situations there. But social media for you, D.
Yes.
Positive benefit. Personally, what does it do for you?
Personally, for me, I don't find it as much of a benefit to me personally. I think what you're doing with it is maybe what I could aspire to get out of social media. I do like being able to access information on things that I enjoy. Sure. I feel like the attention versus intention is very important here too, as we'll discuss later. But what I loved about the way you set it up, which kind of inspired me, is like your TikTok is so set to your preferences, what you really like. Your algorithm really got a good idea of you, that like you can even share what you have popping up with your grandma. You were telling me about that earlier this week.
Yeah.
Like turn around, and what was the video you were showing your grandma?
So it was a video of how to make pemmican. And pemmican was this like old school, like basically like food source that was made out of super thinly sliced bison that you then sit out in the sun and you air dry it. You turn it into like a crumble. It's almost like a bison crumble is like, honestly, the only way that I can reference it. You add a fat back into it, and then you turn it into like granola bars. And like my grandma and I are watching this and we're like, this is freaking wild. Like, this is so cool. And the guy's talking all about how like Lewis and Clark and all these different explorers and stuff used to use this, and like bison was such a bigger industry and whatnot back in the day, and like
right
all these cool interesting things that like I'm connecting with my grandma through
TikTok. Yeah, this used to be like CBS, like after 7 o'clock you're watching the sitcoms, or you're not. That's what I think is the benefit of this is I have gotten off of most streaming platforms. Like I don't pay for Netflix anymore. The only one I pay for is YouTube. No. And I like that because I can go and watch a video on whatever I want. If there's some 1970s conspiracy thing that popped up, I'm like, oh, dude, I want to learn about that. Or if I want to just watch a guy mountain bike through the Alps or whatever he's doing, like I can go watch that. I can't get that on Netflix or Hulu or whatever. And as I can maybe reset my social media, which was the initial question of maybe where my preferences are, not so much like if you go on Twitter and it's just the For You page, and it's pretty much just based off what you click on. So right now it's just infinite sports rumors. Like that's not doing much to me. None of that comes to fruition. Unfortunately, Twitter is just straight clickbait. Like, oh, heard this and through the grapevine, stay tuned, and you click it. And these dudes get paid so much when you just interact with their tweets. So I feel like, unfortunately for Twitter, it's more just profiting than anything nowadays. And that's what most of social media is. And that's where I have to have some discernment of like, okay, am I kind of are my eyes, my attention being taken advantage of for money right now? And that's where I have to start going like, okay, this is probably not the best usage of my time. And I look into something like TikTok, like you mentioned, I go, cool, this is a chance for, I haven't used TikTok much. I use it for the podcast to check out what we're doing. But I love the idea of those long form videos, or people who have like these really niche type setups where they can share information to you. And that's where I see the beauty of it. And like nowadays, I feel like that's coming to fruition even more. I love like even Instagram. It's so crazy to see that more people are starting to break through how much of a life suck it can be. Like there's videos if you scroll enough on Instagram Reels, I swear I get them often and it will shut me down. These videos of, it's like, it's the creepiest shit ever. And it's like flashing like memories of like life or whatever. And it's like, don't forget to reset. Get off social media. Dun, dun. I'm like, oh shit, I gotta get off. And there's actual accounts out there that'll flip through your reels that pop up just telling you get the fuck off social media.
Yeah, isn't that wild?
Yeah. So when that's occurring, I'm starting to think, okay, there's an actual issue out here of like, and I find myself doing the same thing. It's addicting as hell. It's just scrolling. And I can act like the cooking videos that I see are cool and I'm going to make these recipes. And maybe nowadays I will. I have a nicer kitchen to look forward to. So maybe those actual cooking recipes will come to fruition. Or maybe the workouts, I see 30 days to cut the dad bod. Oh, dude, I should do those workouts. Like those are cool. So I don't think social media is truly the issue, in my opinion. I don't feel like on the surface, if you're just using it for getting away from the things you should be focused on, that's where I find the issue. When I can start to find the ways to use it to benefit myself, I don't have to hire a personal trainer. I can just find a quick workout that makes sense for me with the things I got at home, do that for 30 days, and I'm already in better shape and 10 times better off than I was before. Or if we were talking about car repairs, dude, I don't know. And this isn't like a gripe on my dad or the people in like my life that maybe like, you know, past generations, those things got handed down to you. My dad worked his ass off to give me a lot of and there are a lot of things, unfortunately, that just like, my dad never taught me how to change the oil in my car. Just never happened. So I watch you do it. I still don't really understand it. I think more of just, I don't like crawling under the car more than anything. But like things like that where I can go, damn, I could go to those Pennzoil chumps again and do, no, sorry, Pennzoil, you guys aren't chumps, but you guys try to sell me a lot of shit I don't need. I know my air filter isn't clean, all right? So, you know, with that being said, like you can go out in with the right intention, learn about whatever you want. Like as I said here with the clips and trying to understand how to actually edit something in Premiere Pro, like I can ask you and you've been great in you know, lending a helping hand, but also so much on YouTube that just, I mean, you can search every little part of Premiere Pro on YouTube and learn about it. So with that thought process, it's not so much about what's wrong with social media. It's about why am I not using it correctly?
Yeah, my relationship with it.
Yeah, it's and that's like we talked about with just about anything. It's that's not the issue. You know, drinking beer isn't the issue. It's drinking beer on a Tuesday night at till 1:30 in the morning, waking up hungover. I can have beers last night. It's all good. I took care of myself. So that's where it's if you just go out and have this discernment, okay, maybe I'm being taken advantage, and the attention of, okay, I'm just going to go on here and like, you know, I can look at reels and maybe it's just for 20 minutes, but unfortunately you get sucked in a lot. But
yeah,
with the right intention, the right understanding of this is what I'm going to get out of it, I think that's where I can kind of heal my relationship with it.
I think there's also those times when it's like, okay, I've done so much and I kind of just want to be entertained for a minute.
There's nothing wrong with that.
You know,
there's nothing wrong with that. But when you're like, you're sitting at your desk and
you're trying to escape the situation that you're in by literally just going, oh, I don't want to be where I'm at, so I'm just going to start watching all this.
And I am really bad about that. I can find myself, okay, cool. I just kind of want to dissociate right now from whatever I'm thinking about. This will be great. I'm not going to. I mean, tell me about the last time you sat down and scrolled through some reels. Tell me about the videos you saw. You don't know. You don't remember shit. You don't remember shit because you're not even taking that in, you know?
On a regular basis, I'll probably watch 20 TikToks a day. And I'll probably remember one or two of them.
Right. Yeah, and that's what.
So that's you're 100% spot on, dude. It's how much did you actually take away from that? And then like those things, like I mean, this guy he's got his whole own freaking.
Well, I'm excited to hear about Brandon's stuff because
this guy's gonna just make us.
Brandon has the Library of Congress set up through his YouTube account.
It's ridiculous. He's got a whole what's the decibel system? Oh man, the library freaking Deca system, man, is what this guy's got for all his social media.
So outside, I'm curious for you, Brandon. So like outside of like the way you have your YouTube set up, which is very, very, very well detailed and like what you want to learn about, what you want to listen to next. Tell me about the other social media platforms. Like, do you find yourself falling victim to the algorithm as far as staring at reels that have nothing to do with your life at all?
Yeah, I definitely, if I don't have a plan in place of what I'm actually looking for, like I'll come back to the libraries in a minute, but yeah, if I just open up TikTok, honestly, I love and hate when people send me TikToks because it's almost never just the TikTok someone sent to you. It's like, for me, it's like I see the one underneath it before I see the one that comes.
It bounces up a little. It's like, oh, guess what's next?
Yeah, it'll be like, it'll show some kind of space thing or some kind of thing related to nature. And then it's like, now you can see the message that somebody sent you. It's like, well, what was that? So then I have to watch the one that they sent me. And then I'm like, is it above or below? I'm like, okay, there it is. And then I watch it and I'm like, man, that's pretty good. Let me get one more of that. And I'm like, oh shit.
Oh no, it's a guy dressed up as Spider-Man eating hot dogs for pennies on TikTok.
Yeah.
They got me again.
You know, it's funny. Spider-Man was definitely in one of my videos today.
Yeah. Spider-Man's always there.
I think
synchronicities, baby.
Yeah, I think he was seeing a kid in the hospital, but like I was like, okay, that would be pretty cool. I'd do that. But yeah, my algorithm gets very interesting. There's a lot of do-it-yourself things that pop up, things that I would never be doing, but I'm like, oh, that's a cool like arts and craft hack. Like it was like,
I didn't know if I wasn't lazy, I could do this myself.
Yeah. It was like, hey, you could also use this thing that you've had in the house for like probably the last 10 years. You can also use it for this purpose. And I'm like, oh, I would have never thought about that. So I see a bunch of things like that. But what I often do is I'll organize if I'm on social media, what I need to return to doing, which I haven't done in a while, is go through my libraries. For Instagram, I have a library, and then for TikTok, I have a library, and YouTube. So anyone listening, don't forget to use your libraries, because you could just say, okay, I'm going to scroll right now. There's a subject I want to learn on. Every time you come across your algorithm, what I do if I see a subject that's like interesting, for instance, I don't have abs right now, but I have probably 30 different ab videos on YouTube and 30 on TikTok alone. I have my watch later, I have my must watch, science in each one of them, diet in each one of them, holistic health in each one of them, stretching, all calisthenics. I think I have calisthenics in both of them. But I have all these different things that are organized, and the general idea is at one point, whenever I feel like learning about a subject, I can always revisit back to that and be like, okay, I really want to focus on my like mental health right now. Let me just pull that back up and then look at all those things. I know plenty about that area, but it doesn't hurt to get some other areas where they're like, okay, did you know, for instance, grounding, like that's one area that we probably both have similar algorithms and something like that. So I'll go back, I want to focus on my holistic health and see how I can integrate that. And then I might like go back to a mindfulness meditation like clip. So I see it as social media is like a really like positive and good thing, but it's like kind of in the same way the internet as a whole. We're given this beautiful tool that can be used for plenty of good things, but instead we end up, pulling up a hot girl on Instagram who's brushing her teeth and talking about, I'm going to make this smoothie. And it was like, you're sitting
If you
there.
drink that smoothie after you brush your teeth, it's going to be disgusting.
Fair point. And then this person's going to go run on a smoothie stomach. I was like, okay. Well.
This is the most unrealistic shit I've seen all day. And I just watched a cat on a spaceship.
I literally, Snapchat stories, their reels are golden. Their algorithm, they know me so well, probably better than like some of my family members. But
Snapchat?
They're reels.
You do send me a good portion of Snapchat videos, just funny Snapchat videos. You are the only person I know that watches the Snapchat video.
Their story is a bunch of bullshit, filled with ads, and it's just, if you want to get a good idea of social media and what's wrong with social media, Snapchat. Sorry, you guys are messing it up for everyone.
You made the list.
It's like, I want to see this video of this person like doing a cool trick on a trampoline. It was like, oh wait, you got to get through 20 videos and 5 ads before you can get to that. That's at the end. And I'm like, you know what? I'm going over to Reels because you guys suck. And then Reels is golden.
That's what I'm thinking of too, is the algorithm is not worried about what you're looking to get out of it. It's just worried about how it can monetize your viewership. So if you're just going to keep watching so-and-so videos, they're just going to keep pumping out regardless if it's beneficial to you or not. Like I just went on my Twitter interests. This is crazy. Twitter interest is a list of, I have 250 things they think I'm interested in. NBA basketball, 6 different times. NBL, I don't know what that is. Nashville. Apparently I like Nashville, just the city of Nashville. I've never been there.
Never been
I've
there.
never, no. Yeah,
thing.
Olympic soccer, Olympic City SC, Patty Pimblett. Just a lot of, it's a ton of sports. I told you that's what I use it for. But they just know that if they feed me that information, they can sell ad space based off that, and they're going to make money. It's not worried about what I'm going to get out of it. It's just worried about how is this going to be monetized. Yeah. And that's what worries me is, okay, cool. I am going to be taking advantage of. Can I at least direct it in a position that's somewhat positive towards me?
Well, that's where I have the problem with the using AI to make content for social media. Like our next topic is literally what that. I don't see anything wrong with taking like a Jordan Peterson podcast talk and putting it over top of a Minecraft clip. But then you find out that like a 10-year-old is making $10K a month off of posting these Minecraft videos, and you're like, whoa, hold up. If I was 10 years old with $10K, the amount of terrible freaking things that I would have bought, what the hell is going on here?
A car that I can never drive for one.
Yeah, it's just all these crazy things that I would have spent my money on.
I definitely would have had a driver to school. Like buy a car you can't afford and then hire a driver to take you to school in it.
Insane.
Like 11 years old.
Yeah, you're living.
Because that's what it breaks down to. You've seen the videos, and they're like, okay, cool. I take this podcast, I clip it up, I smack my Minecraft highlights, and it's might not even be theirs. They just take 2 videos, they cut them down, throw them up there, and then you're making money based off that. And we've had that conversation. Is that the route we want to take with our podcast clips? Or are we just against the idea of putting more trash into the proverbial ocean?
Yeah, the oblivion.
Yeah.
It's a challenging like line to dance there, because like, for instance, why I don't see things wrong with that is because like Jordan Peterson has a lot of great talks and a lot of great like wisdom and stuff to share with people. So when someone's taking all these people who are these like, honestly, kind of like the Stoics or the profound people of our time that we're living, and putting it on a video that isn't doing, like, I have seen a lot of these videos. They're not 3-second jump cuts. It's just somebody who's literally like walking through Minecraft, like jumping on to the actual things, doing the Minecraft like mazes, or it's some dude who's just sending his car on GTA through all these crazy loop-de-loops and all this different stuff. So it's not quick 3-second jump cuts of like flashing stuff in your face. So it's actually, is it benefiting people from listening to those talks and something that intrigued them, plus conversation that they normally wouldn't have, or thoughts that they might not have, coming together might be a benefit to people.
We're obviously very good at holding attention through those videos. We talked about that, the short attention span, they work well. And they also will hit you with the, here's 7 things you should know before you die. Number 6 will really fuck you up. I'm like, I gotta know what number 6 is. I gotta know what this 11-year-old dude said number 6 was. But yeah, they're really good at holding the attention. You're right. Like if I play video games by myself, I'm playing something that doesn't require too much attention, I'm probably also listening to a podcast. So I guess that combines the same thing. And you're right. If they're able to hold their attention to something to look at, well, you shoot some wisdom to them via audio. I don't see any real issue with that. But there are again, if we're adding Jordan Peterson talk, sure, that's great. But again, the 7 things to know before you die types, that's just trash, dude.
Yes. Or taking, I don't, hey man, you can come at me if you want to, but taking someone who's been on like their live stream and like clippings, like a Twitch person, and just something that they like were saying for like 30 seconds and then throw all kind of stuff over it. You're like, that to me is another one of those things where it was like, okay, literally nothing was talked about. There was nothing that was said here that like, I can't take any I can't take anything from this. I haven't learned anything. It hasn't shown me anything. And then I'm sitting here and I'm just like, that to me are the things that are like, we pumping more shit into the machine that is just going to ultimately get to somebody who like, what happens when that person watches that video? Like, does that enlighten them to like, oh my goodness, I'm watching such stupid stuff. Like, I need to literally like turn my life around. Or is it like, they're just unaware and they don't even know. Like, I don't want to judge anybody. It's not what I'm trying to say here, but like, there's really only kind of 2 avenues that you can be there. Like, are you the unaware person, or are you the like, oh, shit, I need to like not be spending my time doing this, and maybe I need to get out for a walk.
It's so sad, because the word that gets thrown around more often than anything, I see at least, is brain rot. Have you seen brain rot term being thrown? Yeah. So that alone, it's so forward-paced, like, this clip is nothing but rotting your brain, and we're so actively pursuing those clips. Like,
yeah, like,
I'm sorry, but the Costco dudes, they're cool. Like, dude, father, son, hanging out, eating.
What is that, by the way?
Have you not seen this? Praise be the Lord, dude, that you've seen the Costco, dude. No one has seen the double chunk chocolate cookie. And then there's the little kid with the chicken bakes, and he's like, or the chicken bake. We've not watched this. Oh Christ!
I've not seen
Flip
those.
it on here. You could just put a little screenshot. I'll say if you
I'm actually kind of
could
looking forward to it
blow
a
your
little bit.
mind, dude. I almost want to pull it up here for a second. So anyway, these clips that like add literally no value to your life. Sure, father son hanging out, making money, doing fun stuff together. That's awesome, dude. There's no way you can't get behind that. But like, what is that actually doing to you? Or like I was talking to my cousin who's a grade school teacher, and the skibbity dibbity whatever's going on with these words that literally, dude, when we were 13, we had slang. This shit makes no sense at all. It is doing nothing but actually rotting your brain. And sure, a 13-year-old kid can watch it, and they're just kids, and they probably won't take it seriously. But if I'm watching that shit, I have major issues, dude. At this point, if I'm watching skibbity toilet videos at 31, about to be 32, and like, the fact that I can bring up the Costco people and you guys have no clue makes me worry for my mental health in general. So, I guess the point being is that like the fact that the word brain rot is thrown around so often, but they're the videos with the highest viewership, highest comment rate, the highest send rate. Well, there's no way people are going to stop putting them out.
You know what's really a bummer?
I'll show you the
Is
Costco guys.
people-
This is ridiculous. You don't know the Costco guys. So.
Yeah. What's bummer is people are physically in their videos saying something incorrect just so that people go to the comment section
Wow.
to basically correct them, so that, because the comment section is what gets any video to like go nowadays. Likes don't matter. It's viewership, like how long you viewed the video, and if you commented on it, to get people talking, to get people stuck in this loop of like, I got to go back and say something back to that.
Oh God.
So then now it's, I watch that video again because that video just keeps looping while I'm literally sitting here trying to text back a comment, and now I've watched that video multiple more times.
Oh yeah, or the
you.
1 second video is like 10 reasons why you should travel to Wyoming this summer, and it's just like one person standing on a mountain in Wyoming, and it's a 2 second video. Here's the 10 reasons in the comments, and you have to read through the comments to get the idea, but they're flipping the video behind it over and over. Oh, you savvy son of a
That
bitches.
7-second loop one where it has like the full talk,
The description is all, yeah. Here's the Costco guys. I don't want to play the video. Have you not seen? You've never
never
seen
seen
these
this.
people.
Nope, I've never
That
seen
I'm
those
going
kids.
to really reconsider everything about my life after this episode.
No, when you said the Costco guy, I thought you were talking about, there was a guy on TikTok who I've seen recently. He was, he's always got this deadhead hat on, but he was like a serious drug addict at one point in time. And he goes, the last one I saw was him. He had the Costco chicken in the back,
Or rotisserie chicken, yeah.
rotisserie chicken. He goes, you know that this rotisserie chicken now has forever chemicals because of this plastic bag, but I used to double shoot up back to back. So like, fuck that, you know? And like, he basically tells people like, quit being a pussy, just like eat shit to eat shit. And he just starts eating it. He literally rips it open. He's in the parking lot of Costco, just eating it off the ground.
Living my dream.
Wow.
Like, holy cow. He's wild. He goes in, he gets like the chicken rollers, and he's like, these chicken rollers have no nutritional value whatsoever. But I used to do this. Like, you're like, holy cow, like, okay, this is crazy, because like this really gets your mind thinking like, one, I don't want to maybe go down that path. Holy shit, what happens when I do go down that path? All these crazy things could really get you thinking off of those videos. So I was sitting there and I was like, the first time I saw him pop up, I was like, this is kind of fucked up. And then I was like, oh wait, this is kind of a mind thinker. Like, this is really starts to get you thinking about your life and like your assessment, and like, oh, okay, not a judgmental way of like, oh, I'm doing better than this guy was, but like this guy being so vulnerable, like what we're doing on our trying to do with this podcast is just be vulnerable, share those traumas that allow other people to then feel that it's okay to talk about their shit or communicate more, or feel like I'm not the only person here who felt that way. Okay, cool. This is awesome.
Yeah,
Like there was
yeah.
somebody else.
I like the videos I do like are, there was the guy I followed who did the ice bath for a year. He's still doing it, like 2 years, dude. There's some dude up in Canada. And then there's a guy I follow who runs every. And I like those videos specifically because it's incredibly motivating. No matter, like I always want to find a reason why I can't do something productive for
Yeah.
myself. I love coming up with a good old excuse. as to why I can't do something.
I'm real curious which guy you watched who runs every day.
Dude in New York, white dude always wears a backup hat. He smokes a doobie before he runs. Kid's a killer. He's a killer. I love that kid. And yeah, he'll run. He smacks the post. He runs the same place.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
I love that kid because he's normal, talks the phone like he's just a normal dude. And then I like the fact that like with those videos, they're inspiring because yeah, they're up there every day, but it's motivating in the sense of like, okay, if this dude can get up and put things aside every single day to go out and even just run. It might not be the best run. He'll tell you, oh, this run sucked. I felt horrible today. Yeah. But like, those are the things where I start to find positivity. And so I wish to find more accounts like that.
He clicks the grinder.
Yeah, that's my boy, dude. I like that guy.
The one I saw most recently, I don't see it every day, but he was like, we're getting tired of this.
No, it's good content, man. That's like, you just got to find your wheelhouse.
It's awesome. Like that kind of stuff. That's once again, the beauty in finding those things. Like we found beauty in that guy literally getting up every day and just doing a run. Yeah. That's all the content is.
But then people want to naturally comment on that and share their stories, how motivating this was. Like, oh, I got out on a run for the first time in 3 years watching your videos. So there's no reason why I can't be me. You know, those are great as opposed to the Minecraft videos that are, oh, click share to figure out who your girlfriend will be in 6 months. It's usually the person when you click more share and type 333 on the comment. Like, no, shut the fuck up.
There's a guy who he's sharing, there's a couple guys that I see regularly that are sharing all this stuff about AI and like all the different AI websites and stuff that you can use. And his thing was, he literally showed that you could take a Mario, just a 2D image of Mario, drop it into this AI software. It'll create a 3D model of it. You can literally click all the points for the joints of where you want to animate Mario. But he goes, it literally starts out the video, you can take the Luigi right here and drop your Luigi in for this. And I'm sitting there going, and then you pop up in the comments and it's Mario. It's Mario. It's Mario. It's me, Mario.
And definitely did it on purpose.
100% did it on purpose, just so that he could get the comment section going, so that his AI video versus other AI videos on the same exact website on the same topic don't do as well because he utilized the comment section of being incorrect to get people to engage.
Yeah, the engagement's crazy. Same thing in the sports Twitter I was talking about. Someone will put out a rumor that makes no sense, and if that guy gets 35 comments that says, you're stupid, I'm so sick of seeing your account, who makes money off of you getting mad at him? Yeah, you're engaging with the idiot. Like, that's low level.
Yeah, it makes me think of one of the garbage things that Snapchat does is they put out fake stories about possible movie characters. And I'm like, I know this isn't real because I research different things and I know from like, we'll say 10 different sources on the same movie. It's like, okay, well, 9 out of 10 say that you're full of shit. I feel like when Deadpool and Wolverine were coming out, I already knew a lot of the people that were going to be in there. And I'm like, I know this is a load of crack, but you know, here we go.
Yeah.
It's like, I want to hear what you have to say.
I'm curious. Were you able to actually convince me potentially that, yeah, you actually are doing it to see like as a challenge though? You're like, I want to see if these guys can actually make me think this son of a gun's going to be in this movie. Nah, I know better. Let's fire it up.
Yeah, it's like right now their big hype is Andrew Garfield going to be in a new Spider-Man movie. I'm like, I know you're full of shit, but let's see what you got.
I love Andrew Garfield.
Yeah. Posting every day though, like posting every day and then the posting consecutively every day, like 2-3 times a day. Like, I don't know where my opinion on that truly lies yet. I know that for me, like if you're pumping out those, you know, what we would call mindless or brain rot videos, that to me would be like, no, I think that's horrible.
This in relation to our podcast?
No. I'm talking about just in general. But yes, let's just get personal with the Opus clips. Like thinking about posting an Opus clip every day and just going in there and just firing away our video into Opus clips. It cuts things up. And then we just go back and we picked out of the 50 videos it gives you, we picked 14 for the 2 weeks that we try to promote a podcast, and we just fire those away and we just roll with them. And it wasn't anything, and the only reason why we picked them was because out of the 50 that it gave us, it gives you a viral score. And we picked the top ones that this said it was 99% chance that this could go viral. And we just pumped those out. That, for me, I'm not with that anymore.
No, I don't think so. I don't need a computer telling me what I think is entertaining.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let me decide what I want you to show me.
Yeah.
But I think two things that I consider there is one, we're probably not getting our best content out doing that. I think our podcast reflects a little better. Like since you've been cutting them, they look better, they sound better, the content is just better. And the two, it's just a pride thing. I think we have more pride in what we have to offer anyway. So having something like that where it can be a tool for us, like I think Opus has been cool because it's upgraded a little bit recently. We can actually dig into time slots that, okay, I know we said this at the 32 marker, I can go in and cut it out. You can kind of do that anyway. So I don't think that it just doesn't reflect what we want to do with the podcast, what we see our podcast as. And I don't think by putting out social media, we feel it's something that is just, oh, I just want someone to click on this and watch it. I don't care what they take away from it. We want someone to take a message away from what we have to say. And I will get it there eventually and be able to offer more wisdom in the future. But I think that the thought process there would be if we can just offer some type of good and feel good about us sitting down the day before a clip goes, like, what do we feel about this, as opposed to 1 through 15, schedule them out and see what hits. It's I think in theory that's going to be more beneficial to what we're doing.
I would agree. It's going to make it more sentimental too.
Yeah,
Like
it's
the connection.
You're right, the connection and then like that vulnerability you're talking about. Like everyone has a shield up in social media. You know, like this persona and the shield of who you are. You don't want people cracking you down. But I think that, again, like that video of the dude running every day, like there's vulnerability. You're seeing that guy every single day. There are days I don't want to talk to anyone. So the fact that someone can go up there and every single day put a camera in front of their face and cut a video, really inspiring to me. And I think that's what we're trying to relay is like a little bit of vulnerability in the sense of like, here's our videos about like the dog videos we've been putting out. Like, here's this dog that I had this amazing relationship with that passed along, and here's a story of the day he died. Like, that's going to connect a lot more than us just pumping out you and I laughing about your Taco Bell or whatever. It's like, that's fun, but it's just like, it's not going to portray the message of what we're trying to get out there.
Yeah, empowerment, growth, next level.
Yeah.
Grand rising, all those kind of fun things. I would say that for me, like the posting every day, in just a general sense of just being someone who's trying to, like if I'm trying to grow my photography business or I'm trying to grow my film, I'm trying to be someone who becomes oh my gosh, why am I being so dumb, dude? Someone's literally trying to just be a producer or be a director. Filmography was the word I was trying to look. Oh,
nice, dude. The Wordle of the day.
The Wordle of the day.
That's too big for Wordle.
So someone tries to like, they have a goal in mind that they want to do. So I go on. The reason why I'm posting every day is because I'm trying to share my art with more people so that I can drum up business, because I don't have business right now. But from what I've talked about with almost every single business owner is that word of mouth, like you do a good job, you take care of your customer is going to take care of you by telling everybody who I used for this situation. Just like, say, a wedding photographer. This wedding photographer was amazing. I now have 10 friends who are all getting married after me. I'm totally going to suggest this wedding photographer to those people. That's 10 opportunities for that person. They might not take that person. They might have other people influencing them on who to take as their, or they might have somebody that they already picked. But like posting every day to put your art out there, to me, like, I think that's fantastic. Posting every day to try to get somebody to buy your product, I don't know. That's where I start to like, for me personally, it starts to like, what side of the line am I on when it comes down to that? Because I see it as this beauty of like, okay, this is an entrepreneur trying to grow something for maybe their family, or they want to do this or that or whatever. They have intentions of why they're posting every day to try to get more sales. Versus the person who, like, then I start to sit here and I'm like, yeah, but the product that they're selling is just, it's not, do I think it's, okay, it's not beneficial for me, but like, Zach, you need to understand that that might be beneficial to other people, or that might be the stepping stone for someone to end up getting to another level, or that thing they might buy that and then go, why the hell did I buy this? And then that's what changes their life to make a switch or change in some certain way. Not that I'm saying anybody's messed up, but yes, I'm messed up. So I would imagine other people might be a little messed up, you know? So that beauty of like posting every day, for me, like I see benefit in it, but I also see like pumping the brain rot of just like, holy shit, man, we didn't need 10 more videos today. You just posted 10 videos that were very mind-numbing yesterday. Like, we let those 10 videos cook for a little while. Like, we don't have to like pump out more stuff. But I feel like my personal opinion with AI is, once again, the same opinion that we have basically with all of this stuff. Whereas if you're utilizing it as a tool for growth or good, or you or the intentions that you're trying to seek out, then hail to the yes. But if you're trying to like control people or utilize this to like grow your power or grow your influence over people to basically like control them almost, or mentally mess them up, I'm just not for that at all.
Yeah, I can see that too. I think with the AI setup on my side too, as long as it's a tool, and I've used this tool, even like proofreading an email, I love it. Slapping in ChatGPT. I can't spell correctly to save my life. I type too fast. I act like I'm a good typer. I'm not. But even just being able to proofread an email, it's so nice. I don't need to grab a coworker and be like, hey, can you read it? I slap it in, proofread this for me, boom, copy, paste, slap it in, and it's always right. 100%.
Does it tell you things like tone? Like, hey, you might be like sounding a little bit like.
You could ask for it, and I could even ask it, hey, could you rewrite this in a more serious tone? Oh, yeah, it's terrific. So tools like that, amazing. Now, as far as generating legs and killing me in Terminator 2, like the robot said, I don't think, like, I know we named the episode Terminator. I watched the beginning of Judgment Day yesterday. Seeing like the skeleton cyborgs just lighting people up in a post-nuke world, dude. It's horrifying. I think the good news is I don't think that's real, man. I don't think that's something that's coming. I thought about it on the way here. I just think we're doing such a good job of ruining planet Earth ourselves that we don't need AI to do it for us. I think it might be the next logical step in growth in us transitioning into something more powerful and maybe, as I don't know if it's a higher being, but like as far as AI taking over the world, I think we will merge with AI before AI takes over, in the sense of like what you see in Judgment Day.
I see AI being a beautiful thing that allows the human species to finally evolve to a place where we utilize more of the DNA that has been dormant.
Yeah. Keep going, King.
Just like they say you only use 10% of your brain.
Yeah, what were you saying about the internet? You'd say like you think that the population only knows the true power of about 1% of the internet.
That was Titty.
Brandon said that.
Fantastic comment of like, yeah, we basically like I think we really only know 1% of the internet, because like we've had the internet, they say, since like the early 90s, like, but yeah, we probably had the internet, like all of its capabilities, since like 1960, probably 1970, and we just didn't know about it. Who's to say? Because you look at all of these like stories that now come out from like all these different profound situations. You're like, how the hell did they compute that shit back then?
Mm-hmm.
Well, hold up. Okay, now, wait, these guys had to have something better than just the dial-up that we were working with. And you start to sit there and go, okay, now, yes. So where I was going was we only use 10% of our brains. And they say that supposedly there is a lot of genes inside of our DNA that are dormant right now that we don't utilize. And that with how much the sun has been getting hotter and we have been kind of changing as people, and like all the things that may or may not have come out over the last several years to try to slow down that process of us evolving as a species. 2020, like, we're doing something. Something's happening. Something's changing. The whole Schumann resonance has changed exponentially. And the Schumann resonance is basically how much the resonance of the earth and the sun and all the correlation between the two of them. Like, imagine that bar, like if this is the entire graph, imagine those bars were only ever going to like here. And since 2020, they've been going to like here. So that is how much more sun, power, life force energy that has been pumping into the earth. That's pretty wild to think about. And like, that's not the mainstream media stuff that they're talking about. We're talking about Neuralink and trying to merge ourselves with AI when you have all these people like hidden in the background on TikTok and Instagram and all these different social media platforms with like, yeah, some of them might grow that little follower thing up to 1 million, but that account gets changed, that account gets banned, and then they got to create a new one. And then you're like, wait, I just saw divine being divine. I just saw 2.0, 3.0, 4.0, 5.0, like of his tag, his whatever handle. You're like, wait, he's on his 5th iteration of this, of creating this account, because he's literally just keeps getting banned because he's putting out this information that's now getting people to think differently. Or like, whoa, I've been kind of changing as a human over these last couple years, or there are times when I feel like I have more energy that I didn't feel like I had back then. And like, maybe I'm not really agreeing with the same foods that I always ate, or I'm still eating them, but now I'm questioning why I'm eating them. And you're like, oh shit, what's going on here? And it's like, open social media and it'll tell you 50 things that are wrong with you right now.
Yeah.
That's like, in all reality, there might be some really amazing things going on behind the scenes, like on like a single cell mentality inside of our body that we're not even really knowing is going on.
I know. Sometimes you say some things and I'm listening and I follow the whole way, and I'm just like, all right, I have no clue what the fuck to say. But yeah, I get what you're saying. And like, think about, this is a very simple like thing I think about, kitchen appliances. Think of all the kitchen appliances that you can now have in your home for you have an ice cream machine downstairs, dude. 20 years ago, you weren't getting an ice cream machine. They held that technology away from you, and now it can be, you can buy it for a couple $100. And it's the same thing I think about like technology. They're not going to let you have access to everything until they have gotten their usage out of it, and they're 3 steps ahead of you on something else already.
Who are they?
I don't know, man.
Central
the lizards.
Intelligence Agency. Maybe.
Maybe. Who knows? 3-letter agency. Just to say.
Yeah.
That's where like I'm, not to talk like off of a side note, but that's where like the whole like what truly is like the yin and yang of this realm that I live in right now, this dimension. Like, is it really just energy? And so there's positive energy and there's the negative energy. So there are the positive demons and there's the negative demons. Is it really what is just affecting you, like the energy that you have inside your body and how you're choosing to transmute it? Is that what created, legislation and all these different things of like people oppressing other people? Is that what caused it? Is it really that there are like people who know way more than everybody else here and are like hiding that knowledge and hiding that technology? Like, what really truly is it? And like, for me, I keep going back to, it's all energy. And like, you can choose to be someone who stays in those like growth mindset and all this different type of stuff, Or you can be that person who's just like, I want these people to listen to me and do what I say and do these things. Why don't these people act like I do? And I was a culprit of this for a very long time in my life. I would compare myself to people constantly. And I would be like, oh, well, doing better than that fucking guy. And you're like, holy shit. Like, why would you ever say something like that? Or like, why would you ever think that like what they got going on you literally just took the surface. You haven't gone down to any of the shit. You haven't gone down to, you don't even know what are all the positives that are in this person's life. You've literally skimmed the surface of the water and you're making an assessment and a judgment of whether or not you're in a better position or you're a more intelligent person. And you're like, holy shit, dude. I now see where those people got stuck in that loop, constantly comparing themselves to other people and constantly being like, well, no, I know what's better for this society. I know what's better for, I'm going to build this because this is what the people need. The people need this because they're too dumb to do it for themselves. And you're like, oh, shit, is that really how it is? Because it feels more like that. It feels more like people have gotten sucked up by like a negative energy than there are evil spirits and there are positive spirits and that kind of stuff. Where it's like this Satan, the devil is running the world and he's the controller of this matrix and all this different stuff. And then you watch one dude's video from Santos. Santos is an absolute G. Santos Bonacci, I believe is how to say his name. He's an absolute G of teaching you about creation of life. And he literally has this video talking about a tree and how a tree literally correlates back to all 7 of the planets and how all 7 of the planets are actually like the 7 gods and all this different stuff. And you're like, whoa, that was really cool. That blew my mind. And that kind of seems like that's, how the hell did he connect this, the zodiacs, to astrology, to a freaking tree, to literally like also connecting it back to Christianity and all the religions of the world and what they believe in. And you're like, this dude just blew my freaking mind. Like, I don't know if I'm going to get my mind blown like that ever again, dude. And then you sit there and you're like, okay, so my intention versus attention. So I go into all of these social media with the intent that I'm going to do this, and this to learn this, and this, or I'm going to watch this, and this, and this, and I'm going to get this, and this out of it. And that's beautiful. Where like what we were talking about earlier of like the sucking up your attention with the brain rot videos of just all next once is for you to click on that link so that you stay in this loop of looking at all these different things that are all associated with that link. And it keeps you we want to keep your attention and keep your attention. Because if we're keeping your attention, then you're not spending time working on yourself. And you're not, doing the things, you're not sitting there and having those conversations with yourself of putting the horse in blinders. All of society doesn't mean anything.
I just thought of like if each social media platform had a list of users and then a monetary number of how much money they've generated off of you.
Oh my Lord.
Oh, dude, could you imagine some of the numbers? Just you using their free apps. The apps are free for a reason. Could you imagine what your number might look like?
You literally just put something into reality that can now be a way for people to make money off of giving their attention. Because imagine there is literally like a top 1,000 consumers on Instagram, like list, like you said, and being on that top list gets you X, Y, and Z type of things. So like if you make the top 1,000 list, at the end of the year, they're going to give away.
They're going to be a Stanley Cup.
Oh, yes. No, but could you imagine like getting paid because you've given that much attention, you now get paid.
I'm sure at a certain point that's how it works. Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That would be wild.
I would hate to see what number is next to my name.
You're probably pretty low.
You're probably right, honest. And that's freaking scary.
Yeah.
But Yeah,
See, there's people driving and scrolling. I think we're all pretty low.
you've seen people driving and scrolling.
I've
Oh,
seen
yeah.
people with their phone out, balls deep, scrolling while driving, and I'm like, yeah, this is the world we're in now.
It's
No,
it's
I've
so
seen,
crazy. Good.
I've seen the guy with it literally like the phone mounted in like the little holder, and they're just driving and they keep just like flicking it, and it's just being held there like you're doing your GPS, but like it's like TikTok running. You're just like, what the fudge?
Shout out
dude?
to the guy I saw on Route 28 like 5 years ago reading a book while he was driving. Like that guy is ahead of his time.
Holy shit! How the hell do you even do that?
Dude, like,
No way.
wild.
That's
Wild.
insane.
And he just like listen to NPR or something like
No.
people.
Did you just listen to an audiobook?
No, it's not the same.
It's not
I'm
the
not
same.
retaining the knowledge.
a visual person.
The visual guy. Yeah, the intention versus attention is very huge for me. I think that's if I take anything away from this episode, that's what it is for me, is having more intention in what I'm doing on social media. There's so much out there, even if it's just for hobbies out. Even if it is just sports. Well, if I want to go read about sports, actually saying, oh, dude, I want to catch up on a couple of things. Not just doing it because I'm bored. You know, that's where I think I've fallen to the issue. I want to catch up on what happened, football, because I didn't watch it yesterday. That's okay. But not just getting on and finding out, you know, as a byproduct to me, completely ignoring the priorities I actually set in my life.
Yeah, if you woke up, you wrote your list of the things that you wanted to accomplish for that day, and that sitting there scrolling took nothing away from your list that you wanted to check off for that day, then yes, that's 100%. I'm fucking on that with you, dude.
Yeah.
I'm all about that.
Yeah. So in intention-wise, Steady, we did skip over a little. I want to hear about the YouTube stuff still. I think you could spit some knowledge to the group out here.
My library
Yeah,
or
Ride us out on YouTube University.
YouTube University. So one of the very easy things that somebody can do right now, get yourself a set of Bluetooth headphones or headphones in general. And if you have a job where you can use your hands and still listen to stuff in the background, you can learn just about anything you want. Whenever I was machining, I had a noise canceling set of headphones. I don't really need to say what brand, but they were amazing because I have all kinds of film knowledge. I always wanted to learn about film.
You can share the brand. You can share the brand.
Beats, Bluetooth, noise canceling are fire. Like they are amazing. I would be listening. I would hear. Imagine you're surrounded by a bunch of lawnmowers, and then you just if you put in both of them, you just hold them in, click. Everything's off.
Imagine you're in a room full of lawnmowers.
Yeah, and you're just like a big giant room filled with lawnmowers, and all of a sudden, you just like hold them in, and then just silence, except what you're listening to.
And now they're all still there, but you can't hear. Lawnmowers are a lot creepier quiet than they are loud.
True.
All right, sorry.
But what I would do is in one of the main areas of focus, I would listen to things like synchronicity, different things, like grounding was one of the things, learned different benefits of meditation, Montauk Chronicles, which is Stranger Things was based on Montauk,
Oh, yeah.
where there's actual real like evidence of Air Force testing on a lot of children subjects and trying to, I don't want to go too far into it, but we'll just say telepathy, but we'll just say that
all of them.
Yeah, superhuman abilities. We'll just put it in that category. And they did break some ground, and they did cover up a lot of this stuff. And that's kind of some of the things I'd be listening to. Other areas would be Film Courage. Shout out to Film Courage. You guys are killing it. They're breaking down like, how movies work, what's the design, why we enjoy movies, what makes it good versus bad. Because you could walk in and be like, that's garbage. But if anybody like says that WALL-E is a terrible movie, you're an absolute liar. Like there's not, or Shrek, the first one.
First Shrek slaps.
If you say that Shrek is a bad movie, then you have a bad judgment of story. Like, but these people, they would teach me how to like really learn how to teach yourself how you can construct a good story and what it would look like. All kinds of different videos. I listen to ones on space, everything. Like you could go in and learn whatever you need to learn. Whenever we went skiing, I didn't tell anybody, but I actually learned how to ski before going to ski.
I'll never forget. I took Doe. Doe and I went away to a cabin the second weekend after we went on our first date. For a weekend, we went away together. 2 weeks after we met each other. Idiotic move. Idiotic. Only in the sense of like, man, I'm really lucky. I am comfortable with who I am. But trying to go away with a girl you just met 2 weeks after meeting them, like a lot of things you gotta be on guard about. But the most embarrassing moment of all was that we had enough room to build a fire. And I, luckily, being the city boy I am, have about 30 friends who know how to build fires. I've never had to build a fire in my life. I have a Eagle Scout friend. I have Mr. Frickin' Outdoors over here. I've never had to really build a fire. And there we were. I'm wondering what like how you gotta put the little sticks at the bottom and the big sticks on the top. And I'm watching a freaking YouTube video doing this. And Doa comes out of the shower. And I left it inside on the kitchen counter of like the YouTube video, and I'm doing the fire. I'm getting all the little sticks to build it up, and she comes out. She goes, "Are you watching a YouTube video on how to build a fire?" Like, yeah, but I feel really good about it. And you know what? That fire got moving, dude.
Hell
Yeah, it did. But holy shit, that second embarrassment. If someone else had just seen the look on my face when I realized that she realized that I was watching a YouTube video. I didn't have to pay him a single dollar. I've been in those shoes where I got to learn something that, like, the skiing. But God, man, if I brought that up, it's still the funniest thing from early in our days.
That's hilarious.
Also, you totally need to learn from someone else how to ski. For anyone listening, I learned from about like 2 or 3, actually 4 people who were experienced skiers. So don't just buy a set of skis and go, "Oh, I can YouTube it." You can't.
Yeah, that's
You need some hands-on.
Yeah, I mean, you might get hurt. But you definitely need somebody to be there. But other things like changing out your taillights, phenomenal. I know where everything's supposed to be, but if it's a new car, you've never changed out the taillights or the headlights, you're just like, you know what? Before I break this, why don't I just look through it real fast? You don't got to spend the whole time. You might need only a select 20, 30 seconds are really important. You're like, all right, here, I'll go to these 20, 30 seconds. Boom. I already have that done. And you're like, I didn't break anything.
I have a dad who he worked at Men's Warehouse for years, wore a suit and tie every day, always pimped. Literally taught me how to tie a tie so many freaking times. And because I don't do it often enough, I forget every time. So I literally have to pull up the same YouTube video every
You have a
time.
bookmark?
Yep, I have a bookmark to tie a freaking tie. Like, as much as my dad has taught me, like, I still go, oh, shit. And then you pull it up and like, I don't have to watch that video the whole way through anymore. It's just like the one thing
you're like,
that
loop,
you forgot.
and then looping.
Like,
Yeah.
we're good. But no, yeah, that, like, having that ability to go back and like look at those things is awesome, because you're like, okay, I should totally know how to do this, but I don't. And now, like, I don't have to feel embarrassed by asking my dad again. I could literally just whip
You
open
never learn, Eddie.
Seriously.
I like the way you present that, though, and I think that's a good way to close out the episode, because I think that's what I want to take away from it, going back to the intention side, is that you just named all these things that, whether it's outer space or changing a headlight, you can learn.
Accents.
And accents. Go ahead. Yeah, spit some knowledge, Brandon. What do you got accent-wise? Anything?
Accent-wise?
Yeah.
Christopher Walken.
Go
That's
ahead.
definitely,
Hit me.
I definitely should
Damn. All right. So anyway, point I'm trying to make is that
Wow, my guy. Come at me like that again, I'll stab you in the side of the face with a soldering iron.
Oh, whoa, okay.
That was pretty good.
Damn, I don't want to mess with
Hashtag
this
good
guy.
dirt.
Oh, I don't want to mess with this. But I think it's all about the lens we're looking through, because I'll sit here during the money episode and bitch about how no one taught me financial literacy, but when's the last time I sat down with an Excel spreadsheet and tried to budget out my life with a YouTube video that walks me through every step to do it?
Yep.
The answer is I haven't. I haven't done that. So a little more intention, a little more of want to do for myself would probably benefit me in the social media / AI / internet age, I think, because there's a lot of beauty out there. It doesn't have to be the Minecraft videos or the bullcrap, the Costco chicken bake guy or whatever it is. Like, I could go out there and learn about literally anything. And I think that's where the intention came into, like, getting rid of Netflix. I don't like watching Netflix. I think their programming is dog shit. I'm sorry. The Netflix original shit is not good. I don't like it. It's just me. There's almost too much out there for TV movies that I couldn't even find anything I'm interested in. But YouTube wise, being able to watch a long form, very well edited and put together video on whatever I want at any time. I love it. I absolutely love it. I want to lean into it more.
Yeah, there's some video or there's some TV shows out there now that are on like these weird streaming apps that like are
Alfie.
these like like you like conscious growing type
Oh,
of
I've seen- yeah,
things
I've
and, like,
seen
all
these,
these different stuff, and there's this one set that has a lady who's, I believe it's set in Asia somewhere, but like it's all like she's like interdimensional, like dealing with like people coming from talking and like communicating and all this different stuff of like AI getting involved with like the world and the world like growing spiritually, and you're just like, where the hell is this at? Why isn't this? I want this on the good, like I
Yeah.
want this on the Netflix, so it's easy. Now I gotta go pay for Tubi or whatever the hell it is. Like I don't even know. Like now I found all these different platforms for us to use social media wise. Did you even know Lemonade was one?
I have no clue what Lemonade is.
Yeah, Lemonade is supposedly this new like social media social media that's coming out that's gonna like challenge TikTok. And then there's fanfics. Fanfics is literally you have to apply to be a creator on fanfics. You can't just be someone who posts on fanfics. So you have to apply to be a creator on there. Once you get approved, then you're now someone who is able to post on fanfics. But fanfics is all based around 80% for you, 20% for fanfics. So like it's more to the creator versus taking from the creator. There's all these different ones out there now, but you do have to have like a following that you're bringing to fanfics. That's why only certain people get approved. But yeah, like interesting. Like there's all these different ones that are coming up, popping up, changing. Like where did TikTok come from? And then just absolutely blow the world up, because Reels was not what Reels was before TikTok came
Not no
along.
social media was social media the way it is now before TikTok. Like Twitter, Instagram, Facebook have all bit, and I know Instagram, Facebook are in cohort, but they're all biting off that TikTok, which is like you said, here comes the next video before you even got 10 seconds in the last video, and it's priming you up.
Yeah. Well, as the squad here always says, don't trust us, trust yourself. This was a wild conversation on Terminator. Are we closer than we think? A little dive into social media, a little dive into AI, a little dive into our relationships with it all. We got Brandon, we got Derek, we got myself, Zach, and we appreciate y'all. We'll see you guys on the next one.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks again for tuning in to episode 30, Terminator. Are we closer than we think? Don't hesitate to catch our next release, episode 32, Hard Work. Track record to prove it, or is it all just in your head? Ooh, the gang gets spicy and starts to get personal, where it comes down to your actual, are you working hard? Are you all just inside your head right now, man? Or do you absolutely bust ass? Or are you someone who's like, I'm always busy? Wow. Come join the squad. Let's dive in. All right. We'll see you guys on the next one. Thanks again as always. Peace out.